I will do these if they say they want me to come to their house, because this is like the easiest thing in the world. I will make a pie the day before, because when you have a mile-high pie, and this bakes for 30 minutes and then another 45 minutes, and it's hot, if you go and cut into a pie, it's going to run all over, and we want to have a nice piece of pie. So you have to wait till the next day. So I will make a pie the day before, and I will have that ready, and then that will be, no one knows it's done. And then when I whip this together, I move to the kitchen, and I grab like they do on, you know, and then they're like, whoa, you know, and then we cut the pie, and it's over. So this whole thing really only takes 30 minutes for me to even to do the demonstration, but I know that most of the year I don't carry the apple peeler, I don't carry the pie plate, I don't carry the apple wedger anymore, and then all of the products in our line that has to do with baking. So I literally go through the whole book, anything that has to do with baking, I get it all in a cart or a tub or something if I'm doing this somewhere else. And then my whole table, if everybody's around here, whatever, my whole table has all the baking things on it. Because I can whip this together, and then I want to talk about all of that. So it makes it a specialty baking party featuring the Mile High Pie. So that's kind of how I do it. One of the other specialties I have, it's called baking bones for soup and noodles without drying. So it's really important to bake the bones, and that makes wonderful flavored broth. And the funny thing is, I don't, and people say they don't cook and bake. I want to tell you, I don't cook and bake. Marta's like, what do you ever cook? Or, you know, the same three things mostly. And, but you know what, when I am like really excited about something, I can, you know, take it to town. So anyway, I'm very excited about this. Now, also, you know, last week, I can't remember which day it was, maybe it was Tuesday, it was National Pie Day. This would have been the perfect week. Was it Sunday? It would have been the perfect week if I would have had my wits about me. I could have maybe booked that all year long, because I haven't done pie shows since like October, November, you know? And so this would have been the perfect time. But you know, it's a perfect time anytime, because you can make a strawberry and a mixed berry and your peach. You can do all of those kind of pies any time of the year. So, and then of course the meat pot pie. So I just start mentioning all these great pies and things like that. So a couple of other things. So when I literally get ready, now the oven's at 475 and only one rack. Even if you have two racks, it needs to be on the bottom rack. So you need to move a rack, bottom rack, and always aluminum foil down on the bottom, because this will probably go over. So we've got the oven on, I've got the aluminum foil, you've got this already. So, you know, that part is ready. I just have some basic things here. Now, like most of my shows, I have a lot of things done ahead. So this goes together quick. And so we have that there. Now, what I will tell you that most of us were raised with glass tin aluminum pie plates. But you know where's the moisture from your pie crust going to go? Have you ever had a soggy pie crust, a damp, wet pie crust? That's because it's your crust is baked in glass, aluminum, or a tin pan. But when you know the quality of the crust you're going to get when you use a stone, this is absolutely the stone that you want to use for baking your pie, is a deep dish pie plate. Now, if you think, oh my gosh, I don't even know that I would ever bake a pie, or if I made a pie once, but you know what? I put also in here stuffed pork chops. You know what? I'll put a hot dish in here. I can make a quiche in here. You know, you can put your pork tenderloin in here and cover it. So it doesn't matter what food you put in what stone. And of course, if it fits in the microwave and you want to do something in there. So I like to kind of advertise, you know, the reason they need this. But the pie plate, the pie stone, when they hear, and they all can relate to the fact that, yeah, you're right, my crust is always damp and soggy and moist. So you know what, that's the reason that you want something like this. Now if you're doing a lemon meringue pie or something, you can do your shell in here and get that baked, and you have your nice deep, you know, your nice deep shell. So I've got that ready here. I always have my sugars. You can see on there, it's 2 cups of sugar. You've got cinnamon, you've got tapioca. I have that all ready, blended up. People don't need to see me measuring things. I've got the measuring cup. Maybe we'll pass that around, talk about that. A lot of people don't even realize that the measuring cups can go in the microwave if you want to melt butter or heat milk or do anything like that. So, you know, they love that concept. So I get this all ready here. I'm going to talk about the apple peeler, the wedger, but a really important thing is tapioca. Now this is where a lot of people make a mistake when they purchase tapioca. They just look for, I don't know what they look for, but I've had so many people call me and said, it looks like I've got marbles in with my apples, because I don't know, they're buying instant or something, pearls, I don't know. And so anyway, that's been kind of fun. And I would never use flour to thicken, and my mom would say cornstarch. It's all too, a lot of times that gets glumpy if it doesn't all mix. So, you know what, and most people really are surprised when I tell them I use a half a cup, like not a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. I use a half a cup. We're going to put apples in this baby, and we need to make sure this thing is thick. So now this costs almost $5 a box.
It was $5.
$5 a box. And you know what? And there's maybe not even enough, I don't think, for 2 full pies in here. Just so you know that. All right. So it's really important that they have minute tapioca.
Okay, Paula, I just want you to know that here in Cherry, you know the cherry
Cherry,
capital of the word? That's what the farmers use to make their pies, tapioca.
Yes, yeah, tapioca. Okay, now the next thing is, I am a lover of the cinnamon blend. And a lot of people love that. You want to make your apple bars, you want to make your pumpkin bars, you want to do something that you don't need all of the individual little seasonings. So I will tell people, if you think that you might not have enough nutmeg or enough allspice, everything is all blended in the Cinnamon Plus. But when you're making an apple pie, Cinnamon Plus, although those are the flavorings I like, Cinnamon Plus is never what you'd want to make when you're making an apple pie. Mostly because it has cloves. And so many people don't realize they're allergic to cloves. And cloves mixed in there, and the cloves, that mixture gets hot and stuff. And a lot of people get very sick, or if they break out and they're not really sure why. So it's a really big thing, and the girls at the bakery said, you know, Cinnamon Plus maybe would not be the deal. If you're baking for yourself and you know you like that and you're all okay with that, but if you're baking with Cinnamon Plus in an apple pie or something for the public or other friends, you want to stay away from that. So we use our, you know, our really good cinnamon. And I don't use a teaspoon or so. I use a tablespoon, and sometimes a little bit more falls in. So it's very important to, you know, to have that. Let's see. Okay, now pie crust. I always used to think that the best brand name was the best. In the pie crust, this works just fine, whatever off-brand. Now, when you can find these for $1.39, buy a bunch of them. When they're on sale, $1.99, because you know what, the other brand name, those are almost sometimes $4 a box, okay? So if you get this for $1 something, so to me, pie crust, the off-brand name, works just fine. So we've got that. Okay, so let's talk about, we've got the pie crust ready here. I've got my mat out and ready, and I'm just going to put a little bit of flour down. I'm going to talk about the apples, but I'm just going to get some of this set up here. Now, it's very important to take the pie crust out. I always take it out a few hours ahead. All right, so I've got the, so that's out a few hours ahead. If you take it right out of the refrigerator, it's going to be too cold and you can't get it under roll, and sometimes, you know, sometimes it cracks and things like that. So we have that going. Okay, now let's talk about apples. When I use the apples, I have been taught that, first of all, a lot of people say, oh my gosh, I love Macintosh. Macintosh is going to make you an applesauce pie. We want apples that are going to hold up. And you know what? It's always best not to just, well, oh, I love Honeycrisp. And so I'm going to make a pie with just Honeycrisp. What you want to do is you want to blend your flavors of apples. So Braeburn, Honeycrisp, Granny Smith, Braeburn, Honeycrisp, Granny Smith. What do I have another one written down there? Gala. So you want to get a number of them. But the thing with the mild high pie, it's got to be 6 pounds. Now, if you've ever made a pie with 7 or 8 apples, we're not saying 7 or 8 apples. We're taking 3-pound bags. 2 of them make a pie. Okay?
That's a lot of apples.
6 pounds of apples. We're making a mild high pie, Erin. Yeah. So, okay? So we have that. All right. Now.
Not a half a mile.
Not a half a mile, a big mile. All right. You girls need a little flour over there?
Yeah. We use cinnamon.
Okay.
We'll share.
Yeah, I don't know. I might need. All right. So, a couple of things now. When I did mine last fall, we still had the little green peeling knife in the line. You know, and I just would quickly peel them all before everybody comes. And then I take the apple wedger. if you take and make thin slices, it's going to all mush down. We want apple pie. So I would never use the apple peeler core slicer that has the corer and the peeler, because it's not going to be the pie that I want. So you take the wrench and you lower down the slicing and the coring blade, all right? And then we just pull it back. We're putting it on. You know how this goes, all right? And then you're just doing your apple. Now, this is not set up. This must be Marvin's. I don't know. Yeah. All right, now, I'll tell you what. If you do not dehydrate these, Paula Dean would be very upset. You dehydrate these, then you hang them on your Christmas tree. All right, when in the fall. Also, you can hang these out on your, take and hang these out on the trees. The birds and things will pick at these, all right? But I'll tell you what I do before my parties. Because I did 6 pounds of apples probably in less than 15 minutes. I mean, it was done. And we're talking about peeling and then wedging. They're all done. It went fast. But I have this big mound of peelings, and I put it in a little bit of water on the back burner with some cinnamon, sometimes cinnamon plus. And everybody, because I'm not baking the pie there, I baked it the day before, the smell's not in the house. So you want to have this pie smelling. Then I go like this with a cardboard through the whole house and go from the kitchen to the living room, get it all up there. And they walk in, they go, whoa, my God, it smells great in here. I know that. So anyway, we've got the apple done. And then you know what? You just want to wedge this. And of course, I've got people, and I was so surprised about this. There's so many people that are allergic to the citrus part of a raw apple. But if it's a cooked apple, they can eat it. But the citrus bothers them. And one lady, way years ago, one lady said, she said, oh, I get so sick on these. Because I said, why don't you buy an apple wedger? And she says, oh, I get so sick on, I can't smell that. And I almost break out. I can't smell that fresh apple. And she said, but when it's done, bring it over. I'll have a piece of pie. So anyway, we got, do you have a dog? Yeah, Steve, do you have a dog? All right, so, okay, sorry. I can't pick it up because then I have to hand. Okay, sorry. So anyway, what was I telling you about that? Oh, so this is really important that I need to get these into the hands of the people that won't never wedge an apple. And it was so funny because my niece has a pear orchard. Well, she brought 3 of them. Now, if I would have just mentioned apples, she never would have bought it. I said, Stacy, you've got pears. You can wedge your pears for all your pear crisp and freezing your pears. But you know what? A lot of people are canners and they want to make pickles. Go down your cucumber. This will give you your pickle spears and take most of the seeds out. And people are like, the light bulb moments are going on at the show. Like, whoa, I'm going to buy these now for doing my pickles. I also used to wedge onions with this all the time. So you can use it for a lot of different things. Fajitas. Okay, making your fajitas, you can wedge it. I use our veggie wedger now, but I mean in our day we use these. Okay, so we've got the apples going. All right. Now I have my great big stainless bowl, and this is almost up to the 16 cup line. Here are your apples. Here's 6 pounds of apples. I get this done. I talk about the tapioca. I talk about the tapioca. I talk about the cinnamon sugar. And it's all in here. Now this is really important. I'm going to show you the important part. You need to toss.
You need to what?
You need to toss. So when you go like this, look at, I'm tossing. I'm not stirring anything. I'm going like this. See, if you do this, you kind of get the motion going. You get the motion going. Yeah, so get the motion going. You guys, are your apples rolling? There, the middle one's got to come up. All right. So you're going to be able to see here. I'm not taking it. You're going to be able to see this. Now look. I know. All right. So here we go. All of them are all ready. Okay? Cinnamon sugar and tapioca.
Why don't you start again?
Because why should I? I'm just doing this. Why should you when you're proud? They're all ready. Okay, now when this is all ready, now a lot of times, you guys, I could whip this together and then when I move it out, I can talk about things, so whatever you're comfortable with. But see, this is all ready. If I would have mixed this up, the girls are thinking, oh, can we get the sugar mixed up? Within half an hour, the sugar starts melting on the apples, and then I've got a lot of syrup. And when I'm dumping it into my shell, I've got a lot of syrup. And I want to kind of stay away from that because I want the pie to bake like this. Otherwise, all that syrup's got to cook in there, and then it could be a little bit runnier of a pie. You girls, what are you doing with the spatula?
You're supposed to be shaking, girl.
When you're in my class, you don't do that. You shake it like that. Okay? All right. Okay. We're moving on. All right. Now, the apple peeler, of course, makes wonderful, wonderful cheesy potatoes. If you've ever done your potato up quickly, and then you've got your curly fries, and the core comes out, those are your buttons. So we've got our buttons in our bowls, and we put that in our stone baker, and we melt some butter and fresh garlic, and 3 or 4 minutes in the microwave in your stone, and then your fresh Parmesan cheese. Wonderful, within less than 4 or 5 minutes, you've got cheesy potatoes to die for. So a lot of people that want to make these, if I would have a potato here, would show you, because I do part of a potato and I can pull it off, and I can show you a giant mushroom on the stem. You know what, a lot of the restaurants, when you go for a wedding, and they've got a prime rib or a steak, and on the side they've got 2 potatoes carved out into mushrooms. Now the chefs, who have no life, are there all day carving with their paring knife. You know, it's like, whoa, got a tool for you. So this would make those buttons and bows, and that would make the fun thing. So potatoes and, of course, apples. If apples are soft and squishy, they will push right through. They would fall apart. You can make applesauce. Firm apples work the best. Cold, firm apples. Granny Smiths are absolutely wonderful for all the foods we do. Now, the next issue that a lot of people see is when I go to peel this, and we get a bunch of apples, and then all that black, okay, so let me address that quickly. When the acidity of the apple hits steel, this is a steel shaft, when the acidity of the apple hits the steel shaft, that forms that, okay, and so it's, okay, the O word. Okay, all right, okay, and so, I knew that. And it's not going to hurt the flavor of your food. It hurts absolutely nothing. It might start getting a few people a little weird. I just will, you know, wipe it off, but if it's on the apples, I just throw it all in. You cover it up with cinnamon sugar, nobody sees it anyway. And you know what? The girls were nervous because they said, let's get these apples done an hour and a half ago, and they go, they're going to turn brown. They're brown anyway. You know, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you want to get done a little bit ahead of time. So don't worry so much about that. I just rinse it off, you know, and we're okay. So some apples, like the mixture we had here, for some reason, I had not one speck of that. Then again, I'll have a bag of apples where it's like, oh my gosh, it's all over. So just so you know that when you're doing it, it's not anything that's going to hurt you or harm you. It's the acidity of the apple. All right. So I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to fix your pie. Now, of course, you need a couple tablespoons of butter is on there. And we're going to use some milk. And I have 2 cups of sugar on there, excuse me, to begin with. And then I got another half a cup of sugar, and it's all on there. So I'm just going to put the pie crust down on here now. I also on my table will have the cutters, the little fun cutters. And sometimes I'll take an extra pie crust and I will cut out apples. Or I'll cut an apple, 3 apples out here, and a few other apples, and then I, you know, top the crust. So however you want to do that. But this is so forgiving. There's nothing to this. I just want to make sure that this is big enough that it'll go down in. I make it larger than what this ring is. I didn't put my glass on. What is the ring? 12 inch? What is the ring, you guys?
12 inches.
Okay. All right. So. All right, now watch this, you guys. Watch this. Here's my pie plate, okay? Now, it's like, how are you going to get this in here? In half, get the flour off, okay? And then in half, all right? And now watch. Now just go and do what you just did. Unfold it on half and in half. You can go home now. You just learned about everything you need to know about pie. All right, so Okay, are y'all okay?
Where's the water?
You can drink some of mine if you want. You can drink some of mine. My pretty cup.
Okay, alrighty. Yeah, yeah. Okay, girlfriends? Yeah, you cutting and pasting over there? What are you doing?
She's having a really hard time.
She's cutting and pasting over there. All right, so let's get the second one ready. Okay, so get the second one ready. This is really cool. So I might have those pie cutters on hand. Oh, I gotta tell you what else I did. Right in the fall when this came out, Pampered Chef's pie video. You know that 3 or 4 minute pie video? I'm going, whoa, my party's coming up. So I had my laptop there, I had it ready, and then I did some of these things, and then I just turned it on like this, and everybody at the table, you know, they love that. It was showing how to do the different lattice, how to do the crinkle cut, how to do the braid, how to fix the edges. And so the video was really helping me train without me having to really do that. Okay, so, all right, I've got this ready. Now, fold it, get it out of your way. Okay, here's where the magic happens. Here's where my apple, all right? Okay.
That's gonna fit in there.
That's why mine's in the mouth.
That wasn't part of the directions, Sue.
There's no what are you slamming on over there? Don't make me come over there.
My gosh.
Okay, that's all you do. There's no spatulas, no spatulas. There are no spatulas. Hey, you got a half an apple. You got a half an apple in there. Get that half an apple.
Which one? That one. Which one?
You're getting a prize if it looks nice. I would straighten it up over there a little bit.
Two apples.
There's 2 full apples there. Are you seeing what I'm doing? Are you seeing what I'm doing? Okay.
Push it down.
You know what? If you see like a place that you think there isn't one, okay. Now. Okay, we're getting our apples in.
5-second rule.
We passed that already. I really would like to eat one of them.
Yeah, this is so good. You just do this. Okay, you see this?
Oh my.
All right, now. All right, you guys ready? All right, now it says put 2 tablespoons of butter on the top, or whatever. If you weren't watching, I'd throw a stick of butter on here.
Oh, wait.
All right, you see the butter? All right.
So at home you put more?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
You could.
I would.
All right. All right. Are we all on the same page? I can't even see what they're doing up there. Okay. So now I want to wet the crust along here. I'm just wetting the crust.
Is that milk?
It's milk. You can use your silicone brush. Okay, we're putting the cover on. Ready? Okay, so let's put the cover on here. You want to make sure that it's up here, kind of in the middle. All right, and fold it. All right, are you seeing it? All right. Now, I want to kind of pinch. So I kind of have the milk in there. The one thing is, like I've got nails. You got to kind of go at an angle because of your nails, if you've got nails in here. So you're not stabbing the pie crust. Now, here's a trick. You can take a fork. You can thumb finger, whatever. Or you can take the bottom and roll it up. Look. So roll it up. So you're not having to just go all the way around and keep rolling it up.
And that keeps the juice.
And that will keep all the juices in, okay?
Sue, you cut your crust. What in the world?
Oh my God. All right, I'm not watching. You want to watch my fingers here? No, nothing. It's a party. It's a party I'm having at my house. I'm teaching them how to do this.
And what are your average sales when
You know, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. All right, so just a minute. Now, I have to finish this. Okay, so... All right, okay, so now, this is important. Important. All right? You massage. You massage. You massage. With milk. Massage. All right, you're getting this in.
This would be the funnest workshop.
Yeah, you massage.
Are y'all seeing this over here, guys? Now, this is where, you know, if you want to put another apple that you cut out on there, you know, you can. And then a good half a cup of sugar, all right? A good half a cup of sugar. Now, you guys, heat rises. If you have this in the middle rack or anywhere, it's going to burn. I always, because this cooks for half an hour and then another 45 minutes. After the half an hour, you lower your oven temperature down, you know. And so I don't want the crust to get too dark. If I was doing a smaller pie, not like this, I would use our pie thing. But I will lay aluminum foil. I'll watch that first half an hour. Sometimes this is really dark. And I'll just cover the whole thing with aluminum foil the last 45 minutes. I don't want to have something like this and then it's so burnt here, burnt there. Because the heat's up here, and when it's at 425 or 450 degrees, that is so hot in there. And I don't want it to look charred. You spend a little bit of money, a little bit of time doing that. Now, okay, so... my friend has a signature cut, and everyone knew her pies. And so she would start down here. If this was 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, she'd do, you know, the 6 o'clock and just go down an inch or two. And then you do 6 o'clock. And then you do 6 o'clock. See how I'm doing 6 o'clock? Okay. See, you do 6 o'clock. You just kind of do, I do 6 o'clock. And then now, we need to have the steam come out a little bit. So then we're doing a little bit of this around, you know. Don't go so close to that bottom, you know, because if its cuts are too close to the bottom and this starts melting, you guys are going to be pretty shocked that, you know, and then up here, do in between your 6 o'clocks. You know, do it like the 3 and the 1 or something like that. You know, go up here, you know, and if you want to just do a little bit up there, whatever you want to do that way. Okay, so also, what was I just going to say about that now? Just a minute. 6 o'clock? No, something else.
Are you going to do question and answer at the end? Okay, because I have some questions.
That would be my pie down there.
Myrna?
Yes, you did great. Good job, Paula.
Okay, so now, aluminum foil, it's there. Pay attention. Oh, this is what I was going to tell you. You guys are going to be shocked. Now, you know how 6 pounds is a lot of apple. You know what? When this is baked down, the apples are going to be way down to here tomorrow when we cut it. You're going to have this huge shell, and all of your apples are going to be down here. Can you imagine if you put 8 apples in here? You barely have the bottom crust full of apples.
There's going to be a void in there.
Yeah, there'll be a void, quite a bit. Now, if you let it sit then too long, and what is going to probably happen too is if there's a lot of void, the top might cave in a little bit. I never would cover this at night. Because I want a nice crispy crust tomorrow, pie crust. I don't want it to start getting soggy by putting saran wrap or aluminum foil or something like that on there. So I wanted to do that. But then I kind of touch on what other products I have out. And so as far as sales, sometimes when I do these, I just say, you know what, I want to come and entertain you. I want to, you know, treat you to a mile high apple pie cooking show or a class or something like that. I always feel when I'm at my house, and this is just me, you know, they're my guests, and I just really don't feel like I want to be pushing sales.
My catalogs and things kind of lay off to the side. They've got the paper you have. They're taking notes. And someone will always say, could we like order anything? Oh my gosh, I just happen to have, a stack of catalogs. Here's order forms. I'll say, you know what, you guys, if you want to order anything tonight, I won't charge you shipping. I really appreciate that. The order needs to be in, by tomorrow, that kind of thing. So, but you know what, when I go out and do these, I'll go out and do these. The only thing is I've got to bake that pie the day before and take one. But then you know what, like the one like this here, I would take this home and then I'll bake it. So I've got a number of different stones. So then nobody sees this. The hostess doesn't even see me. I take this in a box or whatever, and she doesn't even see me. And so she's all paranoid. Are we gonna, I thought we were gonna have pie. I said, you're gonna have pie, don't worry, this goes quick. And they're like, really? I mean, and then when I go like this and then open the box and I pull out this big pie, it drives me crazy. So that's a lot of fun. So, yeah, you know what, this oven's on, the top oven, and we just need to time it. Look on that paper you have, maybe just have somebody wipe that bottom off, because it might have a little milk on there. Okay, did somebody have a question? Go ahead.
The foil goes on the first 30 minutes?
No, this after. And I just kind of keep watching it. You know what, I'll tell you another thing a lot of people don't know, and I try to let them know. Most people's 425 is not 425. It's heating hot, it's heating lower, or any of that. I know in my earlier days I always carried this oven thermometer with me, and I would say to people, and you get to doing the same food over and over again a lot of times, I could tell the hostess, let me tell you, your oven's off. And I really appreciate when they say, Paula, my oven heats hot, because the people, bake. So, but you get accustomed to doing, and just watching. Anyone else have a question? Go ahead.
Did you freeze that when you took it home? Or take it home?
Would I freeze it? No, I would bake it. My husband would eat it. You know what? The home office has called me a number of times about all of this because we're wondering how to make it into a workshop, and could I make this and then freeze this? With the whole apple thing. I said, I don't know. You have the test kitchens. You guys have to figure that out. I don't know. Now, my mom would probably take aluminum foil, okay, and she'd put in the pie plate, and she'd dump them apples in, because she would know how many, and fold them up, and then put plastic over it, and then she would freeze that, so when she takes that out and puts the crust in, those apples are going to set in there. But you know what, I said, Mom, you can't have frozen solid apples in there, and if they start thawing out, I don't know. I just make a pie, bake it, and eat it. That would be what I would say. Any other questions? Yes?
I have
So, how do you go about, what do you do? Just stick some paper customers and say, hey, you want to come to my house?
I put it on email. I put it on my monthly newsletter saying my Mile High Pie, my Mile High parties are starting. Let me know if you're interested in hosting. Because it's a specialty thing and it's not something I'm promoting all the time, it goes over really well. I'll probably, if I can get them, if they're around my area, I say, come to my house. That way I can set up, I can have the pie done. Bring your friends and that's your party. I don't care, I might do 5 or 6 of them in the season when I start thinking that I should promote it, So, and the apple core, you've got the apple core. I mean, and look at all the baking stuff. You carry the baking stuff to your shows all year long? No, So this is a time where you want to show off your baking. Yes?
How many pieces do you cut in?
Oh gosh, you're just going to get a forkful, so I don't know.
A forkful?
No, yeah, forkful, that's all. I don't know.
But actually, tomorrow we're going to be consuming these 4 pies.
Yeah, you're going to have these tomorrow.
And Gina is a pie maker.
Yeah.
She brought 5 more pies.
So good.
Different flavors.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a lot of pie tomorrow for lunch.
Yeah, so you know what, I don't know, when this is this thick, when you've got this thick of apple, and it might not even go perfect at a wedger, that it's going to come out and be a perfect piece. It might be falling off, because these are big chunks of apples, so I'm going to cut it, and so if it's this thick of apple, you don't need to cut it in 8, you can cut it more, and then if the crust caves in, I don't know, whatever. Who cares? Okay, Erin.
So, sometimes when you do these, do you ever have like a baking package where they could order everything
I
they
tried
need?
it.
Okay.
No one signed up.
Really? Okay.
And then I tried it. I said, you know what?
I think with the month that stone might have been $30, the Creamery Baker or something, I don't know what, but the stones or something. And I said, you know, the baker was, it's this, and then the peeling knife, the cinnamon, it was just a few things, and it came to like $45 or $50, and you know, the value of it was way more than that. No one signed up, no one. So I waited a few weeks and I said, I'm having a Mile High baking party at my house. You know what, I filled the room. So it didn't work in my area for people to buy ahead and have the thing, and you know what, they're like, you're spending $45 on a pie, you know, when they're asking permission, you know, and it wasn't going over well. But when they came, they're buying the bakers, they're buying the apple peeler.
That's what's talking
yeah,
about after the
then,
fact,
then
if
they
you have it
come, oh
available
yeah,
that
then they
day.
come and then they're buying the stuff, then they're buying the, but I couldn't get it, so I don't, years ago I think I tried the package thing and it worked a little bit with stuff, but I don't do that now. Any other questions? Thank you, until we eat again.
Let's get